June 10, 1991, 11-year-old J.C. Dugard was kidnapped outside of her California home. Over the next 18 years, she would be held in captivity, raped countless times, as well as abused both mentally and physically. Her kidnapper, a man named Philip Garrido, was a previously convicted rapist who was out on parole at the time when he kidnapped J.C. My purpose here today is to convince you that the government needs to keep better track of parolees as well as have harsher punishments for people who violate their parole restrictions. Currently in this country, people on parole are more likely to commit crimes as well as violate their parole restrictions, which leads to more rapes, murders, and other violent crimes in our cities. As somebody who wants to become a lawyer, I've done extensive research on the subject of parole and written many research papers on the subject itself as well as ways in which it can be improved. I'm going to tell you why it should be improved today by going over the problems we have with parole, the causes of these problems, as well as some solutions we can get into. So let's start with what the problems in parole are today. The issue is that there are so many people out on parole that the government doesn't have the means to keep track of everyone on parole. The problem is so bad that at any one time, 1 in 10 adult parolees can't be located by the United States government. What does this mean for us? It means that these people are wandering our streets, untracked and unsupervised, free to commit more crimes until the police manage to catch them again. The extensiveness of this problem has gotten to the point where 36% of people arrested for crimes are those who are out on parole, probation, or pre-trial release. This means that many of the crimes that are committed in our cities are committed by people who have already been arrested and convicted of crimes and should be in jail, but they are instead out on parole. So, what are the causes of these problems? The issue is that there are just simply too many people out on parole. In the United States right now, there are 4 million adults out on parole. To put this in simpler terms, that means that about 1 in 50 adults are either parolees or probationers. This is too many people for the United States to keep track of. However, if there are so many people causing problems by being out on parole, why do we put them out on parole in the first place? According to an article in the St. Petersburg Times, their government simply doesn't have the funds or the space to keep these people in prison. That means that we don't have the means to place everybody who commits a crime in this country into prison, which means we are forced to let them out on parole where they can further commit more crimes. So, what's a possible solution to this problem? According to an article in the journal Issues in Science and Technology, Hawaii has found a solution that has had inspiring results. They have transformed their system so that it has become more efficient and they're able to keep better track of the people on parole. In fact, the system has become so efficient that somebody who violates their parole can be placed back in jail on the same night as the day of their parole violation, which is incredible compared to the rates of the rest of the United States. Two UCLA professors say that this is because the punishments in Hawaii are harsher for those who try to abscond from their parole rather than people who commit violations such as using drugs or using alcohol. This means that parolees are actually deterred from trying to run away from the law rather than finding it easier to run away than to get caught for drinking or alcohol abuse, which means that Hawaii is better able to keep track of their parolees and has reduced their crime rates from these people committing crimes. So, what can you all do? Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this isn't a problem that 20 college kids will be able to fix on their own. However, I encourage you to tell your friends and family as well as your representatives and senators about the information I've shared with you today in the hopes that Arizona, along with the other states, can implement new systems such as Hawaii. So, I've shown you why we need reform in the parole system today by going over some of the problems with our parole system, the causes of these problems, as well as a solution that has worked in one state. By implementing their new system, Hawaii has managed to drastically lower their crime rates, and this is something that every state should have as their goal. It may not seem important to us here at ASU when we have things like finals and speeches to worry about, but you never know when letting somebody out of prison on parole can lead to horrible results. J.C. Dugard learned this the hard way. We need to be sure that our parolees are not committing horrible acts to young girls like J.C. and other innocent Americans by making sure that the violations for parole are harsher and that we're keeping better track of them. Thank you.